Hey now, Linehaul Lonnie here. Hope you all doing good. Today's segment number 5 story is about a time when I was running double with Tim Boyd, and we were en route to Vancouver. We departed Calgary on Monday night around supper time, and when we arrived into Golden on Monday night, to find that the road was closed. And so we end up sitting there all Monday night waiting for the road to open, but it was closed. In the meantime, another team had come down from Calgary, the Kamloops team, who was Steve Calhoun and Gord Burwash. So we were sitting in there having breakfast and lunch on Tuesday afternoon in the restaurant there in Golden. And then we get a phone call from dispatch saying, okay, guys, round her up and head her back to Calgary, and we're going to send you both up around the Yellowhead because the Trans-Canada Highway out of Golden will be closed indefinitely. So we proceeded to finish our lunch, and then away we went. We headed her back to Calgary. We got up around Canmore area, just come out of the park, and we get a phone call from dispatch saying the highway is now open west, so turn around and head back. So we stopped in Canmore, got a coffee and stuff, and headed back. We went down when we got down below the Field Hill, it started freezing rain, and we had freezing rain over to the 10-mile brake check on top of ice, and we arrived at the 10-mile brake check to find out that the highway was closed there. And we told it was going to be definitely overnight. So here we were Tuesday night at the 10-mile brake check. So we all hung out and did what guys do, BS and laugh and joke. And there was a guy that had a load of cutoffs from a sawmill. It was a cage trailer with loose 2x4s and that. So we proceeded to throw a few of 2x4s out of his load, and we started a bonfire right there in the middle of the highway. So we all hung out and told trucking stories, did whatever. And by Wednesday, everybody was starting to get a little hungry, so there was a guy that drove for Penner Transport. He had some cereal on, so he opened up his trailer doors and started handing everybody a box of cereal to munch on, just to help with the bit of their hunger pains. So we were there all day Wednesday, and then finally, Thursday morning, the flagger, his mom was Karen, who owned the flagging company. He had a handheld two-way radio, and it was dead. So I said, do you need to talk to your mom? And he says, yeah. He says, I'd like to. So I said, okay, hop up in the truck. So him and I sat in the truck while he talked to his mom on my VHF radio. And she said that she was going to fly him up some food, him and the other fellow that was flagging. The Minister of Highway was going to fly it up in a helicopter. So I said, Karen, I says, we do have a small problem here. We have 50 plus people up here with women and children as well in the mix. And if you're going to fly food up for someone, you have to do it for everybody. She said, okay, I'll go to the Minister of Highway and see what he can do for everybody. So she went. He said, nope, you can use my helicopter, but I'm not buying food for them people. So she said, Lonnie, I got paid today. I'll cash my check. What do you want? I said, just buy some sandwiches, something from a delicatessen, that kind of stuff from 7-Eleven or whatever, sub sandwiches, and some water. And she says, okay, I'll go do what I can. So she went and did that. In the meantime, Tim and Steve and Gord and I, we wandered around and talked to everybody and told them what was happening, that she was buying food for everybody, and the minister was going to fly it up in his helicopter and donate what you could. If you don't have any money on you, don't worry about it. You'll still get a sandwich of some sort. And she told me what she had spent, and throughout walking around talking to everybody that was there, we came up $20 short, which was pretty good because there was almost $400 worth of sub sandwiches and that she had forked out for us. So in the end of the day, when the food arrived, her son and the other flagger said, we'll chip in the other $20 that were short. So she got every penny back that she spent, which was awesome. So an hour later, the helicopter comes and lands right on the 10-mile brake check, and with a couple boxes of sub sandwiches and flats of water, and we started handing them out to everybody, and everybody was happy. At least they had something to eat and some water to drink. and away the helicopter go, and we were still stranded up there, and this is Thursday afternoon. In the meantime, we'd been talking to a few guys that had come from the south, so they had some duty-free cigarettes and that. So they started handing out cigarettes to guys that needed cigarettes that were out of smokes. And then there happened to be getting to be Thursday evening. There was another fellow, East Indian fellow, says, "Hey, I just come across the border. I got a bottle of scotch, that I bought off duty free too." So he hands out the bottle of scotch, and we're standing around the fire having a drink. And it's getting to be about midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, Thursday morning, Friday morning, Thursday night. And wouldn't you know it, all of a sudden over the hill comes 3 graders and 2 snow plows. Said, "Okay, guys, we're getting you off. Everybody has to chain up and go down on a convoy down into Golden. We got to get you off. There's a great big storm moving in, and we can't have you guys up here no more." So we all helped each other chain up, and we all went down in one big convoy into Golden, and we made it into Golden. So now it's getting to be wee hours of Friday morning. So us Freight Boy boys, we went and got ourselves a hotel room, and we all had showers and that. And then because we had met quite a few of the guys, we said, "Hey, come on over. You guys can all shower in our room too." So it became a public shower, which was pretty cool. Some of the guys really appreciated that. So Friday morning, that fellow I was running with, Tim, he went uptown to go get some clean underwear and whatnot, socks, and he got talking to some of the locals, and they said, "Oh, it was really nice of the minister to feed you guys up there, eh?" And Tim says, "No, that's not what happened." So he told him the whole story, how Karen the flagger bought the food, and it got flown up by the Minister of Highways. And they said, "Oh, wow," because he's taking big credit for this. And they said, "Okay, we'll solve that problem. It's a small town. Word will get around, and he won't be Golden anymore." So that was kind of cool. So anyhow, we hung out all day Friday and visited with everybody around Golden. Saturday morning, they finally opened up the highway going west. So we headed off and went to Vancouver, switched our trailers Saturday night, and we finally made it home on Sunday during the day. So it took us a week to do a Vancouver rounder. Yeah, it's a long way. That's a long trip, long week of hanging out, but it's a story worthwhile telling. And then a week later, us guys chipped in the money, that's Freightways boys, we chipped in some money and bought a $100 gift card. And Gordon Steve met Karen, the owner of the flagging company that did that for us, and presented her with a thank you card, and a $100 gift card, and told her to go have a nice supper with her husband. Which I thought was pretty noble. That was great. So there you go. That's a good story. A good story that ended well. Okay, well, the tip of the day, coincides with what happened, is if you're traveling in the wintertime through the mountains or wherever, you should always have some water, maybe some kind of snacks or food with you, warm winter blanket or blankets, and make sure you have a big heavy coat or something in case to help survive the elements should something happen to your vehicle or you be stranded on the road. And then, so that gets us to the other tip is always try and keep your fuel tank on the high side of the half. So that way you have at least a couple, 3, 4, 5 hours worth of running your vehicle should something happen. There you go. Hope that keeps you all safe. Now, getting back to the joke for this segment, there's a string walks into a bar. And he says, "I'll have a whiskey." The bartender says, "Hey, you're a string, aren't you?" And he says, "We don't serve strings in here. Get out of here." So the next day, the string comes in. He's wearing a pair of sunglasses. Says, "Hey, I'll have a whiskey." The bartender looks at him and says, "Aren't you that string from yesterday? I told you yesterday. We don't serve strings. Get out of here." So String goes home, shreds himself up a bit, ties himself up, and then he goes back into the bar the next day. He says, "I'll have whiskey." The bartender's looking at him, says, "Hey, aren't you that string I've been kicking out of here?" And the string says, "Nope, I'm afraid not." Hope you all enjoyed that one. Have a good day. All right, the songs I recommend for this segment is Midnight Holler by Razzie Bailey, Phantom 309 by Red Sovine, and Looking at the World Through a Windshield by Del Reeves. I hope you all have a great day, and we'll catch you on the flip-flop, and we gone. Bye-bye.